Hey guys, in this video I want to talk about one of the most fundamental techniques to make your minis look crisp and neat. If you don't pay attention to this, your minis definitely won't look as good as they should. If I asked you what the most important thing is to make a mini look good, most of you would probably answer contrast. And you would not be wrong, contrast is super important, but there is another thing that is just as important, and that is definition. So in this video I will show you how you can achieve high definition using some super simple fundamental techniques, and I'll give you some easy rules to follow so that you can keep them in mind when you paint your next mini. But what is this definition I am talking about? At the very basic level, this means that wherever two or more elements on the model overlap or come into contact with each other, there should be a dark line, which is also called an occlusion shadow. And miniatures are quite small, which probably doesn't come as a surprise to anyone, but the intricate details on them are even smaller, so we need to exaggerate these shadow lines to make the model readable. If the individual little elements on the model are not separated with darker lines around them, the model will simply look like an amorphous collection of colors. It won't matter that you painted fancy volumetric highlights and you even placed them more or less correctly. If the details are not separated properly, the model will simply look like someone has lowered the quality of a YouTube video and now you are looking at a pixelated mess. You can still make out the general shape of things, but the details are simply gone. And I see this all the time when I browse miniature painting subreddits. People have clearly watched some YouTube videos and they try to use some advanced techniques, so the models look quite good when they are on a tiny thumbnail. But then I zoom in and there is no separation of colors, everything just flows into each other. Basically, people want to run before they can walk, trying to use fancy techniques before having the fundamentals down. It would be awesome to take some of the examples from those Reddit posts, but I definitely don't want to embarrass anyone, so let me show you a couple of my early models to demonstrate what I mean. This Dreadnought was one of the first models I've ever painted and it is obviously not very good. I had a lot of trouble getting coverage on the panels with the base coat, so the paint is quite thick and I was anything but neat at this point. There are a lot of spots where the gold paint overlaps with the blue. At least I tried to do some edge highlights, so there is that. In a second I will show you another old model to demonstrate how you can improve definition properly, but on this one I didn't want to change anything because it's kinda dear to me as it is. So I changed it digitally to show you what I mean. I'm not a master at digital painting, but I hope this will get the point across. As you can see, the improved model looks much neater and crisper. You can see the individual elements much better and overall it seems like someone dialed up the resolution on it. And the only thing I have done is to neaten up some of the mistakes, outline most of the details with darker lines and add some crisper edge highlights next to those dark lines. I didn't improve the overall lines of the model or add any fancy effects, but it instantly looks better, right? Okay, but everyone can use a digital tool to make a mini look better, so let me show you how you can do this with a real brush as well. This is one of the earliest death card models from when I started painting, and some of you might actually consider this quite neatly painted. I would argue that it's far from that, so let's see if we can improve it a little by upping the definition but without changing anything else. First of all, I will use a dark color to outline every little detail on the model. You can use simple black paint for this as well, but I prefer something with a little color, so I use black purple. I simply take a small brush and paint this wherever two elements or two colors meet, and this is important. Even if it's the same color but there is an edge, I will still paint a dark line. But if there are two different colors like the metal trim and the green armor, I will definitely want to separate those. And this might seem super exaggerated. On normal sized things, these shadows might not be this obvious, but remember that this figure is tiny, so we have to overcompensate to help the observer's eye pick out the details. And now some of you might think that there are easier ways to do this kind of stuff. Why is this guy painting every line manually instead of using a shade paint, an oil wash, a panel liner product or something similar? And you can absolutely do that, and it will help achieve better definition for sure, but there are a couple of drawbacks. First of all, these things flow into crevices and deeper areas of the model and they might not go exactly where you want them. But oil washes and enamel products can at least be used after the highlighting stage. Acrylic washes like Games Workshop's Neon Oil or Acrylic Earthshade have to be done before the highlights because they would mess up everything you did before. And you have to add a lot more layers after they dry to actually highlight the model. And remember my Dreadnought? Believe it or not, I actually used an acrylic wash on that one. And even on the Plague Marine I used some kind of wash product to shade it, but you still barely saw any separation of the elements, right? The problem is that after the shade dries and people start adding the highlights, they will inadvertently paint over some of those dark lines, and the more mistakes they make, the more they destroy the definition that was created by the wash. And probably even the starting definition wasn't perfect, since a wash will never look as defined as intentional dark lining. For example, if you went over the other color with your metallic paint, the wash might not cover it fully, whereas a manual black line would. So the conclusion is that if you want to use washes, try to use oil or enamel based ones which can be applied after the highlighting phase, and they will help you improve the definition. But in the end, if you really want to paint a crisp and neat model with high definition, then your best bet is to do the dark lining by hand. Okay, let's return to the Plague Marine and finish improving it. Now it's time to do another technique that will amplify the result of the dark lines even more, and that is edge highlighting. The goal is pretty simple. Wherever I painted a dark line, now I will paint two highlights next to it. Remember that we painted the dark lines wherever two elements met, so in most cases between two edges. So now we have to highlight those edges. And there are some places where there is only one obvious edge, for example between the shoulder pad and the trim. In this case it's up to you if you still do an edge highlight on the flat surface as well, or you only paint the actual edge. Doing both creates even more definition and contrast, but it will look a bit artificial, which is fine if you like that kind of style. I have a dedicated video about doing edge highlights, so I won't go into the details about how to do them. I will link the edge highlighting video in the description of this one. But you might be asking yourself, why are we doing these highlights anyway? Well, the idea is once again rooted in how things actually work in reality with full-sized objects. Light tends to reflect on the edges of real-life things, making them a little brighter than the actual surface of the object. And if you combine these lighter edges and the occlusion shadows between them, you will get the way your brain knows where one object ends and the other one begins. These edge highlights are quite subtle in real life, just like the shadows, but once again, because we are dealing with tiny miniatures, we exaggerate them to help your eyes and brain interpret what they are seeing on the model. Alright, let's take a look at what I managed to achieve on this old Mini with a little more than half an hour of painting. It definitely didn't turn into a golden demon piece, but if you ask me, the new version looks much crisper and more defined. It could use a lot more contrast with much brighter volumetric highlights and darker shadows, but that is a topic for another video. Okay, at this point we have to talk about two more important things that so far I haven't touched on because they are a little more advanced. The first one has to do with more organic looking surfaces like skin, for example. So far my examples have been mostly about things that had a lot of hard surfaces like armor, but that is not the only thing we paint unless you are really fully dedicated to Space Marines. But organic things like skin don't have edges, so what then? Well, the answer is that you still have to create definition, but it's a bit trickier and ideally more subtle. Even on smooth organic things like skin, you will have individual details like muscle groups that still have to be outlined with darker lines so that they can be distinguished from each other and the surrounding things. But here we have to avoid creating islands of the muscles by drawing a dark uninterrupted line around them. Ideally, the lines on the muscles should be connected to each other, interrupting the surrounding shadows so they are separated but still connected. But this is probably a topic for another video. But this brings me to the second thing that I haven't mentioned yet. There is a reason I am talking about dark lining and not black lining. In the beginning of the video I mentioned that I don't like using black for this because I like to paint with color, but if you want to bring your painting to the next level, you might not even paint with dark colors, just darker than the surrounding ones. On my Plague Marine all the lines were the same color and that works quite well on a small figure and if you like that particular style of painting, but if you want to paint more realistic models, then you have to consider not only the brightness of your highlights, but also of your shadows. In areas where the light hits the figure more, not only would you have brighter highlights, but also brighter shadows. The shadows would still be darker than the highlights in most cases, but they would be definitely brighter than the shadows in the areas where the light reaches less. I have recently done a video about this effect, and if you want to improve your minis even further, I suggest checking that one out. Okay, and with that we have reached the end of this video, and we have learned that before any fancy highlighting techniques, the first thing you need to learn is to be neat, crisp, and to create definition by outlining the individual elements on your models with darker lines and then highlighting their edges. The concept is pretty easy, but to actually do it neatly, you need lots of practice, so go and paint some minis, just keep definition in mind. If you like the video, do me a solid and subscribe, like and comment, it really helps with the algorithm showing it to other people, and check out my Patreon for some awesome painting guides and long-form painting videos. And as usual, before I sign off, I wanted to thank my Patreon members for all their support. Without them, this channel would not exist, and that is especially true for the ones in the captain level. Thank you guys, see you in the next one.